Hey there, welcome back to Between Books. We're Tori and Sal. This podcast is a place to share our thoughts, our theories, and just chat about our favourite books. We're here for a bit of banter, for a bit of fun, and to feed our bookish brains. There will be swearing and there will be smart talk, so if that is your vibe, then stick around. This episode is just a quick ep on the best spicy books to read, dark romance edition. So we're going through Tori's top recommendations of dark romance spicy books, but we are doing them all spoiler free. So there are no spoilers in this episode. So listen freely and enjoy.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode. We're going to do we're going to do an episode on dark romance today. We've done a couple of fantasy ones, a couple of funny ones. I'm going to do the best spicy books to read for dark romance, spoiler free. We are obviously going to be talking a little bit about, I think I've listed 6 series or 6 dark romance books that I will recommend or have recommended, but they're going to be spoiler free. I'm going to give a bit of a blurb, bit of an overview. Sal, I guess you can tell me if you would read this based on the little blurb that I've put together.
Yes, it's going to be very Tory-led.
Yes. Sal,
that's cool.
Sal has her one dark romance book that she can talk about. I have recommended that one, so you can add your 2 cents to that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is going to be a good episode for anyone that either reads dark romance or doesn't read dark romance or even just reads romance, like smart books in general.
Sorry, question.
Yes.
Question.
Teacher.
Would there be dark romance without smart?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Any that I read.
None that I've read personally, and I wouldn't read, but I guess there could, because the dark romance is, yes, there's elements of the smut, which are dark romance, like in Haunting Adeline, just one that you've read, for example. The smut scenes themselves are dark, right?
Yeah.
But it's not just the smut scenes. It's your morally grey. It's like your plot and your characters as well that are morally grey, that are taboo, or things that typically you wouldn't read about or like talk about. So I guess you could, the plot lines and the characters could be dark and have themes of dark romance, and then you not have to have smut. But I guess it's just like usually it has smut. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to list off some series or some books. I've also put them in like little categories based on what they're about. And then, yeah, I'm going to give a bit of a brief overview. So really good for anyone that either reads dark romance or doesn't and wants to get some good recommendations, on what to read. And Sal, I guess you can let us know if you would read these as well. So the first one I'm going to recommend is Credence by, also guys, just want to preface, this is my opinion. These are my opinions. This is what I would recommend for the best books that I have read. You might read them and be like, what the fuck did you just recommend to me? I'm not responsible. I'm not responsible. Read this at your own leisure or don't.
Yeah, Haunting Adeline's very controversial.
Yes, and
I think a lot
that.
of dark romances would be controversial.
Yes.
When people pick up a dark romance and be like, why are we condoning these kind of books? And it's like, well, fuck.
Yes,
like,
or
don't pick it up.
Do you know what frustrates me as well is with a lot of dark romance books, there's literally a page at the beginning that is a trigger warning or a list of like warnings. If you're reading that and still continuing to read the book and then finishing the book and going, oh my God, I can't believe that was in there, blah, 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 blah. That's your own fucking doing.
I'm not going to watch a horror movie and then be mortified that people make these kind of movies.
That someone was murdered.
I know I know that what's in them I'm not going to like, so I won't.
Exactly.
I won't do it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way that I feel about dark romance. It's not for everyone and some of it is fucked up, but don't pick up the book, read the plot and the trigger warning and then be like, oh, I'm so surprised that was in there.
Yeah.
Really?
I saw someone that had put up like a Haunting Adeline as a recommendation and then like in the comments someone was like, I can't believe we're still like it's 2025 and we're still condoning books like this. And it's like, bro.
Yeah. Like, exactly. And
come off it.
These books are an element of fantasy. Like they're not happening.
It's
a book.
Yeah.
It's not real life.
That's what horror movies are as well.
Exactly.
Like I have this whole thing where I'm like, I can't believe people watch horror movies. Like that's insane to me.
Yeah.
And you're sick in the brain. But then I'm like, I've read Haunting Adeline, so I'm like, okay. But
We all have things.
we all have things, right? But then like James has said this to me before. He's like, horror movies are fantasy. They're fake.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it doesn't happen in real life where it's like this crazy, you know, like obviously dark things and scary things happen in real
course.
life. Just like as fucking, you know, stuff that happens in dark romance books might happen in real life, but
For the
not on
yeah.
this general like intense story level
Exactly.
of whatever. So like it's an element of fantasy for sure.
Exactly. So yeah, take these with a grain of salt, guys. I loved them, but you might not, and that's fine because we all like different things. So we do. We definitely like different things. So the first one that I recommend is one of the first dark romance books that I did read, and is Credence by Penelope Douglas. This falls under, I did Google kind of what, genre of dark romance I guess you'd put this in, and this fell under age gap / forbidden romance / taboo. The reason it's age gap is obviously because you have someone that's really young and you've got someone that's older. The reason it's taboo is because you have a step cousin / step uncle vibe. I've talked about this on the podcast before. You have reverse harem, which is where the female main character is sexually involved with several main male characters.
The fuck is reverse harem?
That's what it means. That's what they've come up with that word for, being involved with several, one person being involved with or having sex with several people.
Okay.
And then it's also set in an isolated setting. So it's in the mountains. And there's often like scenes in the book where, you know, they're snowed in sort of vibe. So they're in there for, you know, days at a time, just fucking like rabbits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you would be if you were snowed in. You know what I mean? Not reality at all. But that's kind of like the general vibe for the book.
Yeah.
And then I took some notes. Some of these I've put in myself, and then I've also just used like the blurb from the book. But I guess the notes that I've got on the book is it's super taboo, super spicy. After losing her parents, the female main character ends up in a snowy mountain cabin with her step uncle and his 2 sons. It's a wild ride full of power struggles, forbidden attraction, and a whole lot of self-discovery. The book said that, by the way, and I just added in more than one way. This one is not for the faint-hearted. Messy, chaotic, and blurs a ton of moral lines, typically because of, you know, the step uncle, step cousin sort of thing. People either love it or they absolutely hate it. Very similar to the Haunting Adeline series. If you're into a dark, no rules romance that doesn't hold back, this is one that you should read. So again, if you're into something that's like, you know, very morally grey, then you should read it.
Step cousin's pretty far removed. Like, come on. It ain't even blood, bro.
I agree. I agree. I agree. But people I was reading some good reviews.
It's just we put the word cousin in there and everyone's
like, exactly. But when I was reading some of the Goodreads reviews, when I was going through these, again, people either absolutely love it because they're like, step, like, it doesn't even count. Like, you might as well be friends at that point.
Yeah.
And then other people are not on board with that and don't like age gap. A lot of people don't like the age gap vibe. They think like authors writing stuff about that. Again, it's consensual. She's over 18. I'm not reading anything that's like with people that aren't over 18.
Yeah.
That's fucking weird to some degree, obviously, depending on the age gap. But yeah, with this one, she's over 18. They're weirded out by the uncle vibe because he's older and like, you know, people don't like that. So this is definitely one that I enjoyed. There was a couple of spicy scenes. I've spoken about them on a couple of episodes before where, you know, she's trying to keep it as non-spoiler as possible. Obviously, she is sexually involved with several of the characters at one time and all that sort of stuff. So it's definitely got some great spicy scenes in it. Really great spicy scenes. Do you think you would read this based on that blurb?
Yeah, just as one standalone book.
Just one standalone.
Yeah,
Just
I feel
an
like
easy.
because of the little journey that I got with Haunting Adeline, I'd be down for it.
Yeah.
Because it's a nice like palette cleanser from fantasy realm.
Agreed.
You get to go just into the dirty smart for a little bit.
Yeah, 100%.
Which, by the way, I just feel like reading a good smart book really spices up my sex life. Like
Love
I'm
it.
here for it.
Love
I'm just
it.
like, I just feel like it's a really good thing for my brain.
I agree.
Or my like general
agree.
energy with it. So I'm like, fuck yeah, give it to me.
Agreed.
Have a little moment with it and then
Move on.
Pick up a nice
100%.
fantasy book, get into a little bit of world building and all that kind of stuff. Get into a bigger story with more of a plot line.
Yes.
But as like this, my brain doesn't need to work hard and I'm just here for the fun smart. Yeah, I'll do it.
100%. And I think that's...
And the lines that are being blurred are not too, let's be honest, I don't really have that much of like moral compass when reading. Like I feel like I just don't really, after reading Haunting Adeline and stuff, I'm like, oh well, none of this and Manacled as well. Like people, I realized when we did our Book X episode and I was looking at people's things, like people do not want to read rape, like anything to do with it, which I totally get, but they're like, nah, anything that's like in that vicinity, don't want to buy of it. As you said, people have an issue with age gap. Like there's just things that people like that goes past their moral compass of even letting enter their brain. Whereas I'm kind of realizing I don't really have that.
Same. Not when it, when it
not
comes,
when it's fucking fake. Like,
yeah, I agree. But obviously everyone's allowed to have their own things that are either triggering or they're comfortable with and stuff. But yeah, I agree.
100%. Like people have their different reasonings why, and people are just uncomfortable with stuff. That's cool. Don't read it. That's fine.
Yeah.
Not yucking any, but don't yuck other people's yums.
Yes. Yes.
Like,
I've heard that. Yeah.
Let everyone do what they got to do. But for me, I would read it just for that reason of getting like just a little bit of a
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love that. Okay, great. The next one is still same kind of age gap / taboo forbidden romance. Not as taboo in terms of like step vibe or family vibe or anything. But this is the Wolf Hotel series by Nina West. Age gap because it's always the girl being younger and the guy being older. Like that's always just such a that's always the way it's written in books and sexualized in real life as well. But age gap, boss / employee, I guess maybe that is part that's a little bit taboo. But he's the boss. He's the billionaire boss and she is like the new intern sort of vibe. And a bit of high heat drama, which it does. It has like a pretty decent plot. It's got like 4 or 5 books from memory. 4 or 5 smaller books. And I read all of them and I loved it. Like I genuinely loved this series so much. The notes that I had on it is The Devil Wears Prada. Well, this is what Google had, but The Devil Wears Prada meets 50 Shades. This one's a bit of a spicy power dynamic, again, between a young intern and her billionaire boss. There's a lot of drama in the plot and the tension with like the forbidden workplace romance. They have amazing chemistry, which is something that really drew me in. Is like I genuinely really loved both the female main character and the male main character. Like it was a really good series. And it gives you lots of like emotion and vibes that kind of make it feel real. It's the kind of series that's super easy to binge because book 1 hooks you right away, which it does. And it was a bit of a guilty pleasure with just enough plot to keep you invested when you also are still wanting those like spicy smut scenes. If you love a workplace romance with high stakes and plenty of heat, this one's definitely worth a read. So yeah, this is one that I read last year as well. And yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 4 books. But I really enjoyed this one. What are your thoughts based on that little blurb?
I just really love when you said kind of like the emotion that makes it feel real. I love when an author does a really great job of creating like the deep interpersonal like relationship that is required for something. Like if someone's going to get with their like fucking billionaire boss and a young intern and stuff, like there needs to be, and it's like, and it's a really good story. There needs to be a lot of build up. There needs to be a lot of backstory for it to feel real. Otherwise, like, I don't know, Haunting Adeline didn't really feel real, right? No, that's just like there wasn't any like 100%. Kind of deep emotional building there or anything like that. That was more about the smart and just 100%. This kind of crazy fucking whirlwind journey or whatever. But it sounds like this book has a lot of like, that deeper interwoven relationship where you're like, okay, like this makes sense of why it would turn out to be like this, you know, and that's where the drama comes from and tension and all of that is because if it's done well, that's how it would be in real life. You know what I mean? Yeah,
100%. And this book, I did just have a look. This series is 5 books or 4 books, and then there's like a novella in there. But I think that novella, I don't know when that was released. I haven't read the novella, but apparently it's not related to like the series.
Okay.
But there's 4 actual books regarding this. And yeah, I'm just reading the blurb that they've got on Goodreads, but it definitely does give you that backstory like you were talking about, or just even that relationship back and forth with the main male character and female main character. It gives you that plot and substance between them both before it actually jumps into the smart. Like I'm pretty sure like in book 1, I don't really think you get any of that. It's like book 2. I think it's book 2. Where you kind of, get that smart. It's kind of just about building in that first book. So yeah, Wolf Hotel series by Nina West, definitely recommend, but it is a series. So you got to commit to the couple of books. It's not just a standalone.
Yeah. But anything good is usually a series.
Not
anything good. Like you can get a good standalone or whatever, which is fine, but anything with like a deeper plot line, you can even tell the difference between the way you talk about Credence and the way you talk about the Wolf Hotel.
100%.
Like you get a whirlwind journey of just like sex and whatever. Or you get like a deeper interwoven like relationship story.
100%.
That's got drama and plot and all that kind of stuff.
100%.
Plot needs time. So
yeah. And I typically, my dark romance series, I always rate them higher and have like obviously a lot more to say about them, and I enjoy them a lot more than the standalone ones because I do like the plot. I like some sort of plot in there. Very rarely do I just read one book, just all smart, like I did with that Little Stranger thing. But I hated it because I'm like, I'm just fucking reading crazy, vile shit here. Like, where's the freaking substance? Where's the dialogue?
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely agree with what you said. The third one that I've got is dark romance / stalker / thriller vibes. And that is our lovely Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. And that's part of the Cat and Mouse duet because obviously there's 2 books for that, 3 books now because they released Phantom, but that's like a little side book, I guess. Don't need to read it. I read it. Wasn't great.
Okay.
And the themes for this one are, if you want to know themes, just go listen to our book review that we did.
Yeah.
But the themes are stalker romance, psychological manipulation, and thriller and violence. Essentially, I think that's
Love that.
summarizes it quite well.
Yeah.
And the notes for this one, straight off the bat, it's not your typical romance. It's quite dark. It's a twisted psychological thriller wrapped in intense obsessive romance. Psychological thriller because there is a lot of mind games obviously between it. Usually stalker vibes will give that.
Yeah.
It's about a woman who gets caught up in a dangerous game with a mysterious and controlling man who's obsessed with her. There's a lot of mystery, a lot of manipulation and dark vibes. It gets raw and violent at times. So it's definitely for readers who like their romance with a heavy dose. This was light, but a heavy dose of suspense and creepy edge.
Yeah.
Could probably change those words to like heavy dose of fucked up.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. It is pretty fucked up.
If you're into dark themes and complicated characters, this one's for you, but it does have graphic content. So
yeah, graphic content. And the whole story is very gothic / it has a creepy undertone.
It does.
The whole, the plot line, the scenes, the house that they're in, the park, the theme that they go to, the theme park that they go to. Everything's creepy.
Yeah.
So you kind of got to be around that. I actually take back on saying I don't have a moral compass because I didn't read the second book of this because I'm not about there's a side story in it of child sex trafficking.
Yes. Yeah.
Or just sex trafficking in general.
Sex trafficking, very heavy.
That, I didn't really get into that vibe. That was not heavy in it, but it was a bit because it's kind of like his job, Zaid's job or whatever.
Do you think that goes against your moral compass or just something you're not interested in reading in?
I'm just, obviously it goes against my moral compass.
Sorry, let me rephrase that.
I don't think it's morally correct.
You know how people won't read a book because they're like, nah, I'm not reading anything to do with that because I don't support that. Obviously we don't support that. But do you think you don't want to read it because of that, or that you're just like, I'm not interested in that?
I'm just not interested in reading about it. Like in reading about it, I'm like, it makes me feel a bit weird.
Yeah,
like I don't really need that in my head, but I'll have gun porn. But
but I draw the line at and I have read it. The book 1 is way better than book 2.
Yeah,
like obviously I say way better.
I just feel like I got what I needed from book 1.
Absolutely,
and I don't like the plot line wasn't drawing me in. It was just like the fun journey of it.
Absolutely.
Still rate it highly, but like there's not really like the plot line in itself doesn't really interest me. So I feel like going to the second book wasn't necessary.
Totally fair. Totally fair. Would you recommend this to people to read?
Yes, but I would recommend with like notes,
No.
you know, like like with
extensive
Manacled,
notes.
I'm going to be like, yes, recommend, but only if X, Y, Z, you can tolerate that, and you're all right with this kind of vibe.
For sure, 100%. Yeah, I think that's a really good point. Anytime people ask like, what's a good, I don't know, has Jazz read Haunting Adeline? Or I feel like I've seen that on her TBR list. Anytime I see like that on someone's TBR list or whatever, I'm like, hope you're okay with several fucked up things.
Yeah.
Do you want some pointers on this first?
Yeah.
But I do love seeing it in people's TBR list because I'm like, that's going to be a wild ride.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Haunting Adeline. Then I have a mafia romance, which is the Sweetest Oblivion series by Danielle Laurie. And I think there's 3 books in this, and it's called the Maid series. I love a mafia romance. God, I love a mafia romance.
I need to read one so I can understand, because it's just, I don't think it's my vibe, but I haven't read one. So
I love it. It's giving like biker. Like I love Sons of Anarchy. We've spoken about this before. Jax Teller, incredible. And I love that like biker vibe, mafia vibe sort of thing in books when it's done well. And the Sweetest Oblivion series is the first mafia series that I read. And the themes for that is like mafia. One of the books is like an arranged marriage vibe, all above age and everything, something weird. Enemies to lovers, we love, and morally grey main characters, obviously, because they're in the mafia.
Yeah.
Come on. Like he's doing some fucked up shit. He's killing some people.
Yeah.
So the notes that I had on this one is, if you love dark mafia romance, this series is a must. It's about a woman who's forced into an arranged marriage with a powerful mafia boss who, to begin with, she hates. They despise each other. So already we love it. It's going to be enemies to lovers. Their friendship has all the tension. Their relationship has all the tension, complicated emotion, high stakes. You also get the family drama, you know, the dangerous power plays, killing people, that sort of mafia vibe. The arranged marriage setup changes the typical mafia story and adds that extra layer of drama and plot. It had me hooked from start to finish. And if you love a mafia romance with messy feelings, this one is definitely for you. Okay. I think I rated this like 4 stars. I'm just trying to have a quick look. The Sweetest Oblivion by Danielle Laurie. But what's your initial vibes?
Yeah, well, you kind of sold me.
Love it.
Yep. You've definitely sold me. I feel like, again, if it's done, how many books are there?
I think, let me just double check. Maid, there is 3. No, there's 4.
Yeah, okay.
4
yeah,
books.
I think having the, excuse me, having a yawn. I think having the layers, right? As you said, like there's a couple of different layers of like the arranged marriage changing a typical mafia story. But I think I love like a bit of an unhinged man.
Same.
Like falling in love with an unhinged man.
Same.
And that like being chaotic at the start, but then like having a deep love there. So
yeah,
I think if there's 4 books, the plot's good. It sounds like a fucking good one.
Sorry, there's 3, 4 to be confirmed.
Okay.
So there's 3, but these were all published in 2020. 1, 2, and 3 were published in 2020, and there's a number 4 called The Purest Addiction. But I don't know, it says this will be the last book in the Maid series, but this was a couple years ago, so I don't know if it's actually coming out. But there's 3.
Okay.
3 books. They're all really great, and I rated the first 2 4 stars. Loved it. Same thing. Love an unhinged man. Love that vibe. Love a mafia romance. And the arranged marriage is always a really cool trope. I don't know if you've read arranged marriage. Have any of the books?
I haven't.
No. Always a very cool trope because it's always like enemies to lovers. They hate each other.
Yeah.
But they're being forced together. It's like at the inn or the horse.
Yeah.
One seat on the horse like vibe, but like constantly. And I'm like, oh, this is great. Because it's like real enemies to lovers. So yeah, that one's really good too. Plot, again, it's got a pretty decent plot in some way. Like it's nothing groundbreaking, but it's got some substance to it.
Yeah.
Second last one that I had is the reverse harem / found family vibe. So again, reverse harem. It's a weird way. It's a weird word for it.
I don't know how I feel.
I don't know.
How I feel about it. Yeah.
That is just what it's called. Like if you literally Google reverse harem, that's what comes up.
Yeah.
And it's the Ravenhood series by Kate Stewart. And the themes are, again, reverse harem, which is where you have one main female character with several male characters. There's secrets, there's plots, there's emotional trauma, and as described in the book, vigilante justice. That just is like, don't think too deep into that. That's just where they've kind of got a whole lot of trauma. She was hurt. Someone done something wrong to her. Now these guys are kind of seeking justice sort of vibe. But this one is also a couple of books in the series, and I'll read you I'm just trying to find it because, my Goodreads, because there we go, The Flock. The notes that I had for it, or the blurb that I've got, is this series follows our female main character who has a tough past but finds herself drawn to three very different men. So it's one girl, three men. One's a protective leader, another one's calm and steady, and the third is a troubled but fiercely loyal fighter. Together they make a close-knit group bonded by secrets and a shared mission for vigilante justice, in brackets, based on what happened in their past. The story is as much about their fight against outside threats as it is about the complicated, slow-burning romance that grows between them all. Trust and loyalty are huge themes here, and emotional depth is really powerful. If you're into messy, intense relationships and stories about a found family, this one's definitely worth a read. I always think found family in a dark romance where it's just one girl getting banged by three guys, I always think found family is crazy. Like, yeah, that's crazy to insinuate that's found family.
Yeah, 100%. That is not found family.
They said it, not me.
Yeah.
That's what it has on there.
Yeah.
But I always think it's so funny when I read like a fucking just dirty smart book and it's like found family. Like the Five Brothers book that I read by Penelope Douglas, where it's just one girl, five brothers. I'm like,
does anyone say found family for that?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
100%. I'm like,
no.
Let's not put family in this vibe here. Like,
let's not.
I'm not liking this.
No.
This one again I read last year, and it's 3 books. From memory, these books are like 500 pages or something. So it's they're quite thick books. There's a lot of plot with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Very heavy, like a lot of plot. As you can even just see from the description I've given, it's really about like the plot and the characters and the development and stuff. Still obviously got, smart.
Yeah.
But very plot heavy.
I love like emotional depth.
Yes.
Right? Like you got like trust and loyalty are huge themes, and emotional depth is really powerful. So anything with like, that it's actually going to make me feel something when either a couple like or enemies to lovers like get together or sleep together, or if people are fighting, or if there's a friendship that's falling apart or something, like anything that's going to actually make me feel something towards it because the time and the effort's been put into developing the relationship, then I'm here for it.
And the books, I just had a quick look. The average rating of book 1 is 4.11. The average rating of book 2 is 4.39.
Okay.
And the average rating of book 3 is 4.24. This is with over 200,000 reviews.
Yeah, wow.
So like people love it.
Yeah.
And it's very rare that you get like a dark romance book that's rated like 4.39 is quite high for like a smut book.
Yeah.
So it's really good. That's a great recommendation. Lots of emotional depth to that one. And the very last one that I have falls under the categories of like BDSM / kinks, I guess. And this is the Salacious Players Club series by Sarah, maybe, I'm not sure, Kate.
It does sound kinky.
It does sound kinky. And the themes are BDSM, kink, taboo, which includes age gap or like a teacher-student dynamic, again, above age, and like consent focused. So I think there's 5 books. Again, let me just have a look. Me opening up Goodreads for everything. I think there's 5 books for this one, and each one is like focused around a different kink, I guess. So the notes that I had was like, imagine a super exclusive luxury sex club where a close-knit group of friends explore all kinds of spicy taboo relationships. So I think there's 4 or 5 books, and there's like all the same friend group, but each book is just about a different friend in the group. So the plot is with each other. Like there's references to everyone in every episode, every book, but they follow a different couple, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is very interesting. I don't mind books like that.
Yeah.
Each book in the series follows a different couple. One might be age gap romance. Another one dives into teacher student. And there's also one about like a cam girl and voyeurism, like watching sex.
Okay.
Which is a kink for people.
Yeah.
Even though each story focuses on new characters, they're all connected through the club and their friendship circle. If you're into kinks, adventurous romances with like steamy dynamics every time, this series is definitely worth checking out. So this one was great. Wasn't too heavy. Doesn't
sound heavy.
No.
Yeah.
This one was really nice.
It sounds just fun and kinky.
Just fun and kinky. And I was like, you know what? Love it. Like it's all about consent. There's no violence. There's no non-consensual things or anything blurring the lines. It's just people in a friend group. They all brought into like a sex club, like a high-end sort of sex club. And each book's about one of the guys and a partner they find, and then they explore a kink. And I'm like, love it.
That sounds kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds like different to anything I've like heard of or like read. What did you rate it?
Trying to find it, but there's another series called Salacious Park that's coming up by someone else. So I'm trying to find the book, but I think there's five books: Praise, Give Me More, Eyes on Me, Highest Bidder, and Mercy. So I guess even from those titles alone, Praise kink, Give Me More, can't remember what that one was. Eyes on Me is the voyeurism one. Highest Bidder, can't remember what that one was. And Mercy, I think, is a little bit BDSM, like pain play sort of thing. I think this was a mixed bag. I rated some of them 3 and I think I rated 2 of them 4. Okay. So a bit of a mixed bag. Some were better than others.
Yeah. I think you'd get that with like different, like you're getting different people's stories and it's not necessarily like one whole big plot kind of building or anything. It's just like little individual stories in the same setting.
Yes, exactly.
Some you connect with more than others.
And they're quite small. Like
too bad they don't have like a chasing kink.
Because I would eat that up.
I probably would have given that a 5 stars.
There's no stars for that. Not enough stars for that. And they're quite like reasonably sized. Like the first book's 340 pages. So nothing heavy, nothing huge. All of them are like 300 pages, which is quite like good to get through.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are the books that I recommend for dark romance. I've obviously read a lot more dark romance, but not that I wouldn't recommend them, but these are the top 6 that I would recommend. Yeah. That aren't too crazy either.
Yeah. This is actually a really good reference to have. Like if I want to read a dark romance, I'll definitely go through
100% pick one of these.
And like kind of which one I'm after. I think out of all of them, the ones that interest me the most is the Mafia romance, The Sweetest Oblivion.
Yep.
And then probably The Salacious Players.
Yeah, no, that one's really good. I definitely recommend that because it's not too heavy. Like I said,
just as like a break.
There's no like trigger warning, like stuff. I mean, there's always gonna be trigger warnings because there's kinks and stuff, but there's nothing like crazy.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just nice to read something that isn't like scary.
You could do in your own life. And you're just like, this is cool. This is fine. I've done that. Or haven't done that sort of thing.
Yeah. I think my first one I'd like to read would be The Sweetest Oblivion.
Yes. Yeah. You definitely need to read a mafia romance.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to know whether you're like into the mafia vibe or you're like, yeah, it's not for me.
Yeah. That'll be my next dark romance probably, I think.
Do you reckon you'll read that after what we're reading now? We're reading The Night and the Moth.
Yeah. It's so hard, hey. It's so hard. Like I got to read The Night and the Moth. But then I've also got what is it? My friend's reading Quicksilver at the moment and I do have that book to read.
Yes,
she bought it for me for my birthday. So that was always on my TBR and I hadn't read it yet. Yeah. So I got that one to read. James is on me hard about reading the Witcher series. He's like, you're never going to read the Witcher. I'm like, there's 8 books. And so he's like, after this, are you going to read the Witcher? Yeah, they're quite small. So they're not like, they're not too bad. And I do love the Witcher. Yeah. And I really like that it's more like male main character, but also like no one's really like obviously the Witcher is the main character, like Geralt, but just a bit different. Yeah. And I really would love to read it, but then it's like, like there's so many different things that come. Yeah. So and then I want to read all of the ACOTAR before ACOTAR 6 comes out because in doing the prep for the episode, I'm like, shit, like I really want to be fully ready. Same. And I don't want to enter ACOTAR 6 being like, I don't know what the fuck is going on because it's been, 14 months since I read it.
Same.
So yeah, who knows? We'll just ride the journey and see. At the moment, I'll just get through The Night and the Moth.
Yes, one book at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if we were to reread ACOTAR, which I've been literally saying for ages, I need to reread ACOTAR and Throne of Glass because it's been early 2023. I read them. So over 2 years. And I feel like same thing. I need to be prepared for book 6, and just in general, I need a recap. And it would be really good if we read them together because we could do proper episodes on breaking them down.
Yeah, so true.
Like, you know how people read like 10 chapters and then they'll break down the 10 chapters or whatever?
We should do that.
We should.
Yeah.
But like, with what time? I don't have enough fucking time in the day.
But ACOTAR, this is where I'm at the moment, where I'm like, okay, there's so many on my TBR. I've got to reread ACOTAR. ACOTAR deserves it.
It does.
It started
So does
this.
Stoner's Glass, yeah.
Yeah, it started this freaking journey. Oh, that's what I need to do. I need to read Crescent City. I haven't read the fucking 3 Crescent City.
We're going to talk about that in the next episode, but you have to read Crescent City before book 6 comes out.
So that's on my next.
And
That's why I
that's
said
3
to James,
books.
I was like, oh, I've realized I didn't think ACOTAR 6 is going to come out so soon. I thought the draft might mean there's another 2 years left. And I'm like, but it could be the end of this year. It could be the start of next. So
And
I'm
they're
like,
chunky
I need
books.
to read Crescent City.
Crescent City are chunky books.
And so James like, so The Witcher takes, oh, what did he say to me the last time? He goes, and The Witcher cries another tear, sheds one more tear. I'm like, oh my God, I will get there. But
I'm
yeah,
dead.
so we'll see. But I do have a dark romance. It has to sneak in there somewhere.
Yeah, at some point, because too much fantasy, you get too overcritical and you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
When you do read Crescent City, we definitely will do some episodes on that as well.
Yeah.
As you're reading them, or if once you finish each book, we should definitely do an episode on it. I'll need to do a refresher. But that one's probably the freshest in my mind because it's the last series that I read. So I have a little bit more knowledge with that one. But yeah, no one recommend us any books because we've got fucking too many and we still need to reread a whole heap of them. So no book recs, please.
Insane, honestly.
Well, yeah, guys, I hope you liked that little episode. Another one on dark romance recommendations. If you do read these books and you love them, let us know. If you do have any other genuine recommendations that you think, let us know on our TikTok or let us know, send us a message or on our YouTube when we post this, whatever it might be, leave a comment. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this and we'll catch you on the next one. That's a wrap on another episode. We'd really love to build a book community. So please head over to Between Books Podcast on TikTok and Instagram and give us a follow. If you're enjoying this pod, please give us a quick rating on Spotify or visit us on YouTube at Between Books Podcast. Thank you so much for listening.